How's it going? My name is Luis Torres. I'm a selected individual of royalty blood, and I am here to, with the presence of God, as God is currently using the sun in order to communicate with me. I'm not a pagan, and I do believe that God is able to do anything and everything. However, God has to be the brightest thing in the earth in order for you to understand His holiness or His well being. And well, he's here and he wants to let you know that he's here. He is revealing himself to every individual that has been selected. The angels want you to know that you have to be selected. It is a rigorous process and wants you to know that they are studying you and they want you to come to be studied as you are of royalty blood. The past system is no longer in effect. The new system is what's in effect, and you have to have the seal of your tribes or the tribe that you represent on your forehead in order for you to qualify for this. But in order to do so, you have to be given the mark, as the mark on your forehead is passed out by God Himself when He reveals Himself to you. You can't be afraid to get the mark, uh, as long as you don't have the mark on, or the mark of the beast on your right hand. He is looking for individuals of royal blood from the lost tribes, or just royal blood from heaven, because we reincarnated. We're actually in some kind of trouble because we reincarnated. So somehow we got down here. Our parents, our ancestors, and our loved ones are pretty upset with us. So God is now selecting and waking up the targeted individual community. I want you to know that there are beings that don't want you to leave, because when it's time for war, the people who have the royal blood, uh, they stay with them and they have to fight for that side. However, God is coming to us and He is trying to wake up the individuals, these mosquitoes. I want you to know something about mosquitoes. Mosquitoes, see, it wants to be in the camera. That's why I just went in the camera. I can communicate with everything. But nonetheless, mosquitoes are doctors, depending on who they work for. There's good doctors, there's evil doctors, and they're spreading the blood of the royal family to every individual using mosquitoes. Um, that's what they're doing. That's just how God is working, because God, the spirits can enter the body of anything they want. They can control anything they want. So when you see these individuals that are being controlled, this is for the gang stalking community. When you see these individuals getting controlled, it's because there's spirits in their body that is making them move like that. However, when it's time for you to hurt them, they leave the individual's body so they won't get hurt, because during the possession, they are capable of getting hurt, and they leave the body, and that's when the individual that they entered the body becomes conscious and aware that these things happen to them. uh, God is unfolding the secrets of heaven and wants you guys to know that this is how it works. Well, not everybody, because this is not happening to everybody. This is for the selected few that know what's going on. He wants you to know what's happening and how you are capable of seeing these beings. However, you have to vibrate to another level, to your light level, to your royalty bloodline. You have to be wakened and aware of what's going on, because that's how they'll leave you alone. They still are mischievous, as they do not listen to God Himself. So even when you are awakened, it is possible for them to bother you until you get raptured, because God is getting ready to rapture everybody. Uh, well, at least the selected individuals who are to represent the individuals of their bloodlines, for they are bloodlines and their ancestors are now retiring from their position. So He is trying to move the new system around. The old system was the system of our forefathers and our ancestors, which is why it has been corrupted, as the hackers or the witches, warlocks, and demons have corrupted the system. But now they are trying to recreate the system in order to bring heaven to earth. in order to open a portal so that way our ancestors and our individuals are capable of communicating with us through heaven. They are trying to break the barrier for us in order to communicate with the heavens. But in order to do so, God has to be present at all times between the communications between us and the individuals from heaven, as God is selecting individuals to enter into the kingdom of God without having to die. However, these dark witches, warlocks, and or demons, or these people with low level vibrations, very, very low level vibrations, or ugly vibrations, they don't want you to go, so they want you to stay here. But in order for them to get you to stay here, you have to die. But they have no power to kill you unless there is a signed hit out on you. That's when they're capable of touching you and things like that. So you have to be very aware of what's going on. When that happens, you have to find a community that is capable of accepting you as the community. Each individual that is being awakened in their own homes is kind of hard to deal with it, as the community won't accept you for because they know you, and spiritually they won't accept you, which is why these demons don't accept you, because they're showing these us the true feelings of the way that individual feels about you, and how they feel at all, period, or they manifest themselves and their sorrow through other people. And that's how other people gets magnified, their emotions get magnified, and they treat you the way that they treat you. But you can't pay attention to that, because everybody's gonna treat you like shit when you're royalty, right? I mean, that's just how it works. When you're royalty and you're not in your seat, everybody's gonna treat you like shit. So you can't worry about that. You got to be able to learn how to bring heaven to yourself and communicate with God, mainly and very importantly, to communicate with God, as He will reveal all things to you. But you can't see my girlfriend. She's a non-believer. Because I mean, she's a targeted individual, but she just doesn't believe all the way in full faith. But God sees her as a non-believer, as He tries to communicate with her all the time, and she just has a problem believing. It's my turn to get stuck by these stupid doctors, which I hate, and they're about to spread my bloodline to other people. Now I don't know if that's good or that's bad, but these mosquitoes want to bite me, and that's crazy because they want to carry my blood somewhere. I don't know where they're gonna take it. That's where I'm at with it. Where I don't know if I want my bloodline to be spread out with other people. I don't know that, and that's your choice, because you're royalty, and you can choose with who to mingle. Your bloodline will be blessed. You will see that your bloodline will be blessed. The generations to come will be blessed, until it's time to cycle over to the next generation, or until it gets worse to the point to where they have to intervene again. They don't intervene all the time, because they're the heavens, we're the earth. We got to be separated. But in order for you to see God, He is present, and God is using the sun. The devil was the sun for a while, but whenever God just sits on His throne, on the devil's throne, He becomes God on the devil's throne, because the devil was walking around the earth, which was the sun, and looking for people to devour. But God is now on the Watcher's throne, because the devil was the leader of the Watchers, and that's actually like a really true thing. But now God is up there, and He's calling for His angels on earth, which are incarnated, which is probably what you are. But you have to be selected, and you have to be aware, and you have to be open-minded. You have to trust in your voices, because He's going to start talking to you when it's time to talk to you. You have to trust Him wholeheartedly. Just know that He doesn't want to hurt you. I had to do that for you guys. I had to go through the pain and the suffering of having to hurt myself for you guys. And that's just the Jesus in me. So that's how you know that I'm vibrating at a different level than everybody else, because not everybody else is capable of doing that. But that's just me boasting right now. I'm about to get some bug spray. But nonetheless, you are a targeted individual who has been selected by God in order to represent the 12 tribes, whatever tribes your royal bloodline in heaven, and he is communicating with you. How he's going to get us out of here is beyond my comprehension, but just know that he's going to get us out of here. You got to stay alive long enough for it to happen, otherwise you will be left behind, and God is not trying to leave none of his children left behind. Let's give a moment of silence for all those targeted individuals who have died in the process of this awakening. Because they're all warriors, and God acknowledges them as warriors, and he wants the families of those individuals know that they have been granted paradise automatically. For this is a war, and anybody who dies in a state of war and you are fighting for the right reason or right cause, you are entered into paradise, as that's the way this new system is. And since you will be fighting for God, then you know you'll be fighting the right war, so you will automatically be entered into paradise. And that is just something that God wants all the targeted individual community to know. My name is Luis Torres. I have been selected by God in order to be his messenger, or a messenger, not his messenger, as I am just one of many, and he is waking up the targeted individual community. And by the targeted individual community, I mean the selected and chosen ones for this system, this new system. You will be forgiven for all of your past sins. You will be given certain perks as long as you live by being a targeted individual. And I can explain that more as this video is getting a little bit long. And then this mosquito still managed to find a way to bite me. And I am really upset that he is filling himself up with my blood. And I'm going to end this video. All right, guys. Bye. Oh, don't forget to go to the live feed. We got a live feed for all targeted individuals. You can go to that by checking out my channel. I have other videos which is that are labeled targeted individuals that let you know all the 6 stages, and I am still evolving to other heights. But nonetheless, I want you to know that we are here for you. Hit the notification button so that way you're notified to all these videos that I post. But thank you, and bye.